in order to get points, you have to win a war. Now, in order to win a war, of course, it's a standard. 2 cards, face like that. Then each player would put 3 cards from their deck onto, like that. And then they'd repeat. For example, player 1 would ask player 2 again, do you have, let's say, 5s? If player 2 doesn't have 5s, they can play whatever they want. In this case, they want to play a hard card, which is a queen. And then player 2 would ask player 1, do you have any, let's say, 2s? And if they had a 2, they'd have to play it face. They're forced to play the 2 in their hand. Then they'd flip up, and since player 2 has a queen, player 1 has a 2, they'd win. Player 2 gets the point, wins the war. Now these 2 cards, this counts as a pair, so this is 1 point, and they put that off to the side. Those 2 cards now are removed from play. They cannot be used again. And then player 2, since they won the war, they get all the rest of the cards and put them into their discard pile. And then both players would draw more cards so that their hand is always at 5. Now, in order to win the game, of course, you need the most points, but how do you determine when the game ends? Well, you determine when the game ends when one player gets all of the deck. For example, let's say player 1 won the game and they got the whole deck. And let's say player 2 had 1 point right now. So at the end of the game, what they would do is, in order to get more points, because you need the advantage of winning all of the end of the game, is that you have the ability to pull pairs out of your hand. So for example, since there's a pair in here, that counts as 1 point. Then they would draw 2 more cards. And if they had another pair, they do the exact same thing. But since they don't, that's it. So they stop, game is over. And now whoever has the most points at the end of the game wins. So in this case, it would be a tie. But for example, let's say player 1 drew this 5 instead of this 4. Then they would have another point there. And they draw again. And now they have 2 kings. So that's another point. And then they draw again, and now they don't have any more pairs, so they stop, and that's the end of the game. And that's how Warfish works. If you get all of the pairs from wars or near the end, at the end of the game, once all the cards are in one player's pile, then you win.